Okay, students, let's go over the checkpoint, and we'll start with number 5. Okay, and I'm assuming that you have already completed this. All right, so 8x is our term. Okay, so what's the highest degree of this term? Well, there's a little invisible 1 here, so it's first degree. What do we call a first degree polynomial? Well, we call it a linear. If we're going to identify it by degree, we call that linear. Okay, how many terms do we have here? We have only one term, right? So that's a monomial. So in other words, this is a linear monomial. All right, number 6 is 10x minus 5. All right, what's my highest degree term? Well, it's right here, a little invisible 1 again, right? So this is still linear. I've got 2 terms now, right? I got 10x and a negative 5, okay? 2 terms, so we're going to call this a binomial. So this is what we call so this expression right here is what we call a linear binomial. All right, number 7, we got x squared minus 4x plus 4. Highest degree term, well, that's this guy, right? And what degree is that? 2. What do we call a polynomial with the highest degree of 2? We call that a quadratic. It's a quadratic. Okay, and how many terms do I have here? Well, I've got 3. I got x squared, negative 4x, and 4. So that's a trinomial. So I got 3 terms. And then the last one, 8, is negative 24 minus x cubed. All right, so how many terms do we have here? What's the degree? The highest degree is this one's 3. What do we call a polynomial with the highest degree of 3? We call it a cubic polynomial. And how many terms do I have? Well, I've got 2. I've got a negative 24 and a negative x cubed, so that's 2 terms, that's binomial. So this is what we call a cubic binomial. Okay, so that's it for the checkpoint. So at this point, we're just working with terminology, and now in the next examples, we're going to start figuring out how to add polynomials, and then a little bit later, we're going to subtract them. All right, so example 3a. This works pretty much the way you would expect it to. So let's say I'm going to add a string of 2 polynomials together. 5x cubed minus 2x plus x squared plus 7, and I'm going to add it to 3x squared plus 7 minus 4x. There's a couple of ways to do these, and you can add them horizontally or you can add them vertically. So I'm going to show you how to add these vertically and horizontally. Well, actually, it looks like A, they want you to do vertical, and B, they want you to do horizontal. All right, so we'll do A vertically. So simply what you're doing is you're combining like terms, okay? And the other thing you want to do too is you want to go ahead and start writing things in standard form, so that's descending degrees. So that means this term would come next, right? That's plus x squared minus 2x plus 7. Okay, if I'm going to add this vertically, I'm going to take these terms and line them up with the like term underneath it, line them up underneath the term that has the same degree. All right, so this is a 7, so I got to add, I got to put that there, and then I'm going to put the minus 4x here. Okay, so all I've done is I've written these in descending degrees. I'm adding these. I'm combining like terms. So I'm just adding them vertically, and I'm just going to go and do just like this and add them up. So 5x cubed plus nothing is 5x cubed. X squared plus 3x squared, well, now I've got 4x squared minus 2x minus 4x, that's a minus 6x, and then 7 plus 7, that's 14. Okay, so this is an example of how to do this with the vertical format. All right, B, they're going to have us do that with what we call the horizontal format. So here we're going to add 2x squared plus x minus 5 plus x plus x squared plus 6. Okay. All right, so basically what I'm going to be doing is, again, they have you sort of grouping. I don't really quite do it like this at this point, but they just have you grouping like terms together except horizontally. So we're going to write 2x squared down. I kind of do this in my head automatically and write it, and then just write the sum down. But so 2x squared plus x squared, we're putting those next to each other, okay? And then I have an x here, so that's plus x here, and then I'm crossing these off so I know that I've dealt with it. Plus x. Okay, so and then -5 minus 5, and then plus 6. And now you're just going to go through and you're going to collect the like terms, and you're going to end up with 3x squared. So you're doing this horizontally, and that's why they're calling that plus 2x plus 1. Then is your answer. I don't tend to do this step. Once you get used to this, you start to do this like in your head. I mean, I'll just do 2x squared and then x squared, and I'll just write 3x squared. X plus x, okay, that's plus 2x. Now I do cross them off so that I know that I've looked at them, and then -5 and that's plus 1. I mean, you can really do that in your head without doing this intermediate step. But in the beginning, it might be a good idea to do that. All right, so I'd like you to press pause and then do the checkpoint. In this video, I'm going to continue on with the checkpoint because I'm assuming that you will come back after you're finished and press play again and see that part. So if you're at this point, make sure you are done with checkpoint number 9 and 10. So we're going to do number 9. It says find the sum, write the answer in standard form. That means descending degrees. And they're not telling you whether to use the horizontal or the vertical format. So I'm going to stick with horizontal, I think. All right, so here it is. And okay, I'm going to start with highest degree down to lowest degree. And since this is a plus, I mean, technically speaking, you're just going to drop all these parentheses, right? Since this is all what you see inside the parentheses, you're not distributing your negative. So whatever's in there is what you get. All right, so let's add our like terms. So x squared plus 2x squared, what is that? 3x squared. All right, 3x minus 4x. Well, that's going to be a minus x. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, there you go. You've added those two trinomials together. It's just, combining like terms. That's all you're doing. All right, number 10. All right, 2x squared minus 4x plus 3 plus x squared minus 4x minus 4. Again, you can just drop the parentheses. You can just like pretty much, oops, I think I'm wiping out some terms at the same time. 4x squared, okay, 4x plus 3 plus x squared minus 4. I got my eraser a little bit too big. All right, so now x squared plus x squared, what's that? That's 2x squared. Minus 4x minus 4x, so that's minus 8x. And then 3 plus minus 4, that's minus 1. So all these are added up. You've taken care of all those, and this is your result. Oh, I forgot the 2 here. This should be a 3x squared. Yep, I did wipe something out there. Yeah, so 3x squared minus 8x minus 1. Okay, great. And that is it for this video. Come back and see me in the next video.